Hello everybody and welcome to Vault Assault, back to Vault Assault SMP. My name is Buzzy107 and today we are going to be building an Alchemist shop here right where I am standing. And don't worry, I will explain the getup real quick. Did some vaults in between and got some more stuff, but also lost all my stuff and then had to buy all my stuff back. So yeah, it's been very interesting. I am now level 21. So with all this stuff going on, it is very, very very interesting and very hard to keep up with. But let me go ahead and get some materials, and then we'll come back and we will talk about what we are going to get started on doing. Alright, so here we are. I actually have all the area kind of mapped out. I put this little pond in here, and I'm thinking that the Alchemist can go right here. And if you look up here, you see I've got this little area right here. I'm going to have to create like some sort of walkway that comes around through here and then comes over to here. Alright, so after looking at the area and planning it a little bit more, I think we may have to really remove a good portion of this. Alright, so I'm thinking about a shape kind of like this. As you can see, okay, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. As you can see, I kind of have a little bit of a circular area coming out right here, along with one coming out here that is a larger part of a circle. And then I have two rectangles. This is 7 by 9, and then this one is 7 by 5. And I just have them, conjoined like that. And what I was thinking is the door could be right here. The actual shop could be in here, power right here, and kind of the laboratory or more of the work area, it could be in here. Alrighty, so got a block palette kind of set up here, and we're going to be using lots of brick. I'm probably going to have to make more of the mossy brick. Now some of these blocks are just going to be for like decorative purposes and kind of for like the experiments, so to speak, which is where the sunstone and the moonstone come in. I will get those out and show you the differences because it is pretty cool. So during the day the sunstone is brighter, and during the night the moonstone is brighter. But I also got some illuminate rods, and those are going to be to light up kind of the area just to give it that feel of energy moving through certain parts of the build. Then I've got some of this cyan gelatin. I'm debating on putting this in for, say, like the water's coming through, and the water is what's getting lit up as it's creating a power source. I've got some iron plates, some spruce, because obviously you need spruce. Driftwood, that is probably going to be the floor, because with this being a workspace, chances are that not really cleaning up so much, considering this is steampunk after all. The chromatic planks, not quite sure what I want to do with those, but I do want to try and use them in a build because of the fact that how they change color, kind of like prismarine. And if we come over here, I've got the standard issue copper blocks, some plating blocks, some of this sun metal. I got this from one of the vaults, and I figured I might try and throw that in. Some dripstone bricks, some crimson hyphae if I do want to try and use that. Now these are going to be for very special purposes of them being kind of a something that they're the Alchemist is researching, because it's a soul lamp and a lit withered skull. And then some glowstone for lighting up some of these areas. I do need to get some dye, because I do want to dye some of the glass for some of the tubes. So let me go ahead and grab that real quick. Alright, so went ahead and got this little area in here kind of built up. Went ahead and put in the floor, put in where the entrance is going to be, and got all the bricks laid out. So now I want to go ahead and lay in, insert the walls right through here. Alright, so we just came back from a vault run, and if you guys want to see that, that should be up tomorrow if you are watching it the day that this came out. If you are watching it in the future from then it'll come out a couple of days later. Well, then it came out the day after. So we've gotten a good start on it, as you guys saw from the time lapse. Main thing that's left is we're going to take some of this out, put some of the granite in, and put some of this dripstone in once I get it the way I want it. And for that I just need this, as I literally just want to take the dripstone, go like this, and go here, and then I'll have to turn that back, because I don't even think I can use that yet. Alright, so we went ahead and we put in the actual texturing. I used some of the dripstone blocks. I think that they work really well, like kind of meshing with the brick. But I also went and when I put those in, I put in some granite like around the edges of them to kind of see like this is maybe more of a worn brick than this is. Like this is like a worn state, and then it goes to this, and then these are the newer ones, and then like maybe these are some bricks that they put in to replace like different spots where the brick was falling out and beyond repair. So I kind of put those in certain spots. I have some spots where maybe some moss is trying to grow up, and I actually correlated that with the moss that was on the actual bases of it. So I try to correlate those to make it look more cohesive, and I think that actually works pretty well. Now we are getting ready to work on getting in the furnace, because this one is also going to have a furnace, but it's going to be a little bit different of a style, because the furnace is not going to come out to here. The furnace is going to come out in here and here. These are actually going to be feed-in valves for it. So I'm going to have one valve that's feeding in water. I got to light up underneath. But I'm going to have one valve that's going to be feeding in water, while another valve is actually going to be feeding in the whatever the fuel source is that you want to consider for in here. So basically we'll have it go like this in a way. And we'll have a port coming in here and a port coming in here, and that'll be done with these blocks right here. So we'll have this one coming in, well, coming right here, coming out, and then let's see, a junction block here, and then like a tube that comes down into here. Alright, so the way that I kind of figured out how we would do this one is, if you look over here, it's got a bracket that kind of connects it to the side of the tank, so it's able to siphon from the side. And I just use some a stair here, and then I use some vertical slabs right here and right here. And then if you look in here, you can actually see that I use some glowstone up here and down here. So it kind of gives it that glow, it'll give that glowing effect that I want during the night. And then in here, I think what I'll do here is I'll just go in and just kind of sneakingly put some, let's grab some rockets, and we'll go grab some soul sand. So I think that that right there gives it that kind of look that it's actually pulling up from the dirt, well, from the water, and it's kind of just sucking it into, and I mean, obviously, you know. Oh, now we're stuck. Okay. There we go. But there we go. Just throw that in there. And then at any point, whenever, if we ever want to, we can actually run water up through here so the bubbles are a little bit louder. And then we can put something, we'll put something in right here. And what I'm thinking about doing for this, and put that there, that there, and then here we'll have one there, and one not right there. So like that. And then here, let me see, I think I have some more plates. I do not. Alright, so here we'll actually go like this. And we'll come out a half step. Oops. Let's just put this down for now. Out a half step here. Out a half step here. And then, dang it. Come in and in right there. That big block there. And then you can come no, that's not gonna work. Come in on that, and then we have a door right here, and it's like a little mini boiler to go with the larger boiler. So I'll go get a door, put it right there, do the whole compass thing like we did before, and probably fill this in with some soul sand and some bubbles. That way, some soul sand and some water. That way you can hear the bubbles. There. All right. So let me go ahead and do that, and then yeah, we're gonna get to the second floor. All right. So I kind of have the build kind of laid out now how I want it. So we're gonna have a tower right here, and then this is gonna be a tough wall made with tuff, and I just kind of got it blocked in right now with just some basic blocks. But we come in here towards the bottom, we've got a couple of items on display. Now this will be filled out more, plus this will actually be like framed in, so that there'll be a door, you know, like a doorway in here, there'll be a counter here, and then you come in here, there'll be some stairs that go up, and then once you get up here, there will be a dividing wall that goes, you know, around this part. And then there will be, might be a floor at the top of the tower, because that's not the very top of the tower. But if you look over here, we've got two chimneys that come up, and a little campfire in here. There's going to be some stuff that's going to be like experiments on the, being experimented on all through here. And then that is going to be the roof that comes back this way. Now this will be usable space. I'm just going to have a kind of like a fake wall that just kind of goes, you know, we'll say that this is the wall for now, but it'll go like right here, and then, you know, so on and so forth as the roof goes up. Alright, so we went ahead and got everything textured as far as the tuff goes, and went ahead and went with a little bit of a gradient from the tough to the smooth tough to the tough bricks up near the top. And then if we go around to the back side, you can see that I also did the same on here, but I also pushed everything in by one. So yes, it does delete some of the space that we have for, you know, like decorations and stuff, but it does keep the build a little more consistent and make the build look like it fits a little bit better, in my opinion. And then I did bring over some of these bridge supports because I'm actually going to be using those for the steps in certain places. Alright, so it is nighttime, so let's go ahead and sleep, and then I will show you guys what all I've been doing. So if we take a quick little flyby, you can see that I have all the texture in for the build all the way around. We've got texture fully in, all the windows in, all the little details like the campfires for little window overhangs and stuff like that. Let me take out these so I can stop having to fly around so much. Double check, make sure. Don't let this guy give me any problems. Alright. Hold on, there's some more. I think that might be all of them. Alright, so as I was saying, went ahead, got some texture in up here for the tower. Went ahead and put some shutters on it because we got shutters, which is pretty cool. Went ahead and put some shutters on it. And then if we come around here, I went ahead and used a campfire up top, and then a little fence gate right here. Use some of the I think it's called beveled glass windows, just because I thought it added to the look. And then, you know, we still have the concrete here, I mean the bricks here, but up on the roof, which is actually what I'm in the process of working on, I decided to go with dark oak for the under trim, I guess you could say. And then around here I just went with a purple, a dark purple to light purple gradient. So it starts off as the blue terracotta, which oddly enough is purple, then it goes to the purple concrete, then it goes to the purple wool, and then I start mixing in some of the purple concrete powder, and then it comes up to the amethyst. And now I do have to put the curve in here, but I figured I would do that once I have everything kind of set in, because I do want to have curves like I have on, oh, too much, come on, slow down. I want to have the curve like I have going up here and then just kind of arching around, because I think that that will add to the fantasy feel. I mean, not that the amethyst roof doesn't already add to that feel, but figured have more of a fantasy build for the Alchemist because it's more of a fantasy style profession, I guess is the best way to put it. Alright, so we actually have the full house completed. Well, the full Alchemist shop completed. So what I went ahead and did, as you guys can see, for the roof, let's go on ahead and jump up. There we go. As you guys can see, I kind of just completed the pattern on the roof. And here I used what they call, I forget what they actually call them. Spruce framing blocks. and I made it kind of like that, more of a, I guess you could say like a Tudor style pattern in there. And then on the side you can see I added a little monster cage over here, and then up here I've got a soul lantern. Both of those are hooked by chains. That one is supposed to simulate like a pulley, like they're using it to pull up a cage for a hostile mob that the alchemist is going to be possibly trying to cure. I might get a zombie and zombify a villager and put him in there, if that'll work. I hope it will. I'm not sure, but might try and do that. And then inside I'm still working on, so we're gonna do that before we come back and end out the episode. But I want to show you guys what I have outside so far. So let me go ahead and finish the inside. There's only like a few things left that I have to do. Put up a counter, some way of taking payment, maybe like a coin bag or something. Kind of figure that out as I go. So let me go ahead and get all that stuff kind of sorted out, fill the whole thing with a bunch of clutter, get all my clutter out of there, and yeah, just neaten everything else up, and then we'll take a full tour of the Alchemist shop. Alright, as I can get some more stuff unlocked, I will be decorating this more, but I want to take you guys on a little tour. So right here we have the experiment that is still ongoing, and I do need to put some copper coming up from here up to the ceiling. Then if we come up here, don't really have much of anything in here yet. I am planning on adding some stuff though. What exactly that'll look like, I'm not sure at the moment. Let's go ahead and put that back. But we come down here, and basically down here he's showing some of the stuff that he has for sale, like these little statues. They're kind of poked all around the place. Got some coin pals from where people have bought stuff from him. This is a ghost pearl. I'm not sure what it does, so just put it here because I think it's just decoration. Got these lanterns in here. Shulker box, because he sells some shulker boxes. He sells these pots, these runes, and then the our first vault tool that we actually had, I went ahead and put it on display because it is basically broken. And then this is a elixir seal, some brewing stands that he sells all dotted around, and I wanted to make it kind of look like a chaotic mess in here, and that was so I think that came off pretty good, and it was very intentional because, you know, everything that I looked up, like I showed you guys in the pictures, it looks like everything is a disarray. It is a mess. It is kind of just like haphazardly put everywhere. So I wanted to convey that while doing this. Back here we got a little seat that he'd be able to sit in while he's waiting for customers, and you know, or taking a break. And then over here, these are some bookshelves, and they're all kind of, you know, in like a disarray of, maybe he's had them for a while and maybe he just gets them from all the people around him. But that is basically what I have for this this shop. And then if we come over here, we can see the bubbles. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to make a very immersive kind of shop, and I did that very much on purpose. So if we come in here, you should be able to hear the bubbles. Like if we turn on, let's go ahead and, just so I don't blow out everybody's eardrums, let's go ahead and put subtitles on. But as you can see, campfire crackles, and then should hear something about the bubbles. Yeah. Guess the campfire is kind of overtaking the bubbles, but I wanted to make it to where, you know, it was a very immersive shop. You could come in here, you can basically walk around everything, touch everything, mess with everything, and yeah, I think that that will do it for this shop. So let me go ahead and unload my inventory, and then we will come back and we'll wrap up the video. Oh wait, one more thing we can put in this shop, and we'll put it right about here. Alright, with my inventory all cleaned up and everything put away, that is all we have time for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, my name has been Buzzy107, and I will see you guys in the next one. Alright guys, bye.